every game the Padres win. If they win tonight, the Dodgers get tighter tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, I think the Dodgers get really tight.
You know him out in San Diego from the Ben and Woods show. He's on 97.3, The Fan out there. Ben Higgins joining us to talk a little Padres ball right now. Ben, great to have you on, dude. How you doing?
Good, gentlemen. Happy final week of the regular season.
Thank you. And it's a real final week for the team that you follow and cover the most because they have a chance to win the division. How weird does that sound, especially considering that they were 50-50 a couple months back? That was the stat that stood out to me.
I can honestly say that even the most optimistic of Padres fans, when the Dodgers went out and spent $1 billion in the offseason and the Padres slashed payroll by almost $100 million, that division title wasn't at the top of anybody's mind to start this season. And then at 50-50, it was like, hey, any way you can sneak into the playoffs as a wild card and then take your chances, we all would have been fine with that around the All-Star break. And now here they are, controlling their own destiny, actually. I mean, they gotta pretty much win out to win the division, but they have that opportunity this week, and it's going to be an exciting one for Padres fans.
Wow, Ben. Listen, I was vocal when they traded for Dylan Cease at the beginning of the year. I was like, what are they doing? Because I think a lot of people were, because they lost Soto, they lost Hader, they lost Blake Snell, they lost all these pieces, and then right before the season starts, as you guys are going to Korea, boom, Dylan Cease for a bunch of minor league guys. And I said, why? I didn't understand it. Now, listen, A.J. Preller is the master dealer. He's the guy that knows his team, and he'll make all the moves to try to win every year. But did anybody see this coming, especially after being at 50-50? But they have a chance. Let's say, they go up to L.A. and they sweep the Dodgers. They're right there. They got a chance to actually win the division.
My co-host, Stephen Woods, reminded me, AJ, that you were not high on the Dylan Cease trade, and obviously it's worked out really well for the Padres this year. What they gave up, the fact that, did anyone know this was going to happen? I don't know that they could say that they knew it was going to happen. AJ Preller, though, his plans go beyond just the one trade. He was already probably thinking about Luis Ariz for a while. In fact, I know he was thinking about Luis Ariz and seeing if he could pry him from the Marlins, and then that adds to the lineup. And when you have Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. coming back, you have the nucleus of a good team. Obviously, the trades at the deadline worked out really well, bolstering the bullpen. Tanner Scott and Jason Adam have been really great for this team, as well as Brian Hoeing. So every move has worked out well. Did they know they'd work out that perfectly? I don't know, but they needed pitching badly in spring training, and Dylan Cease was there for the taking. And so they went out and took him, and then they put the rest of the team together kind of after they made that move. And, it's worked out beautifully for the Padres this season.
It's worked out beautifully, I agree. But with a few different guys that you just mentioned, why does this team feel different than the years in the past? How do they play differently, and why is it maybe a better forecast for the playoffs this year than, say, the last couple of years they've been there?
It's funny because it's like night and day from 2023, even though a lot of the guys are the same. So what is different? Well, Mike Schilt came into spring training as the new manager with kind of a new philosophy of, contact, getting the ball into play. Their strikeout rate is now the best in baseball. So they're making things happen at the plate. They're not waiting for Juan Soto and Manny to hit a 3-run home run. They're just going out and doing their thing offensively. But I think, Jackson Merrill has been a huge addition and surprise. Jurickson Profar coming out of nowhere and having the season that he has had. Every piece has done what has been asked of them, and then a little bit more this season. And I think that truly is what's different. Plus, instead of going 0-12 in their first 12 extra inning games, they've been terrific in extra innings. Their one-run record, worst in baseball last year, above 500 this year. They've been great in clutch situations, close and late, best in baseball as well. You can really turn around one season to another when you do just those things. It makes a huge difference in the record.
It's a great call. Yeah, you look at the one-run games, look at the extras, the whole deal. I remember talking about that so frequently last year, and who was catching a lot of flack for that? Bob Melvin. Was it Bob Melvin, or was it the way that the roster was constructed? Were you seeing the at-bats that you like to see late in games, or did they feel like, I don't want to say selfish at-bats, but not team-worthy at-bats on that side? On the other side, come on, this bullpen is so much better than it was last year in terms of high leverage arms.
It's very unfair to place all the blame on Bob Melvin. He's the same manager that took him to the NLCS the year before, so he didn't forget how to manage. But I do think that They waited last season for just things to fix themselves. They thought, we're so talented, let's not overreact and panic early in the season. So they did nothing, and they kept struggling. And then once they decided, we better do something, then they started pressing. And, that I think kind of showed itself in the poor clutch situations and the one-run games. They were all pressing to try to do something. So, I mean, do you want to blame the manager for some of that? Sure. The manager takes some responsibility, and Bob Melvin did at the end of the season. You can't lay it all on his feet, though. Ultimately, it comes to the players having to come through and do it. They didn't do it last year. They absolutely have done it this year, and I think that's the big difference. You want a stat that'll blow you away? Last year's team had a better run differential than this year's team. Last year's team finished with 82 wins. This team already has 90 wins. I mean, make that make sense.
Jeez. Yeah. It's been amazing. It's been awesome. All right. So then one more for you from me on the Dodgers series here. What needs to happen? Do you think it can happen? Yes, they control their own destiny, but it is still an uphill climb. I mean, they could take 2 out of 3 here.
But that doesn't do them any good.
Why? Well, because they would win the season series, right?
Yeah, but then you're 2 back with 3 to play. The Dodgers win 1 game, it's over.
Yeah.
So they have to sweep. They can't. If the Dodgers win 1 game, the division's over.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, everybody, we got a major problem here. Half of our viewers are not subscribed. Let's go. All you got to do is click a button. Check it out. Hit that button. The problem will be gone. Let's go.
We're looking for real ways to boost our nutrition and just found a protein shake that actually tastes amazing. It's called Orgain, and it's been a game changer.
Orgain is the leader in real protein-powered nutrition that understands that being good for you doesn't have to taste bad. It's the organic ingredients we're looking for, but I don't want a grainy battle with my taste buds every day. You know what I'm saying? It's giving smooth milkshake vibes. That's Orgain, and they have a brand new 30-gram complete protein shake that offers protein-packed real nutrition designed to satisfy your cravings without all the sugar.
It gives me energy, provides muscle support, and helps manage hunger too. It's also made without soy ingredients and made with no artificial flavors or sweeteners.
Orgain 30-gram protein shakes are available at Costco and Orgain.com. If you want to get in on the delicious protein-packed nutrition today, head to Orgain.com/foul and use the code FOUL for 20% off your order. Once again, that's Orgain.com/foul for 20% off. And make sure you use promo code FOUL so they know FT sent you.
So this is my specialty. I love doing this. Padres have the tiebreaker. So if they win 2 out of 3, it's not over, but they would need the Rockies to win at least 2, and then they'd have to sweep the Diamondbacks to get into that tie on the last day of the season. Not impossible, but the best path for the Padres, of course, is sweeping all 3 games. If they do that, all they have to do is match whatever the Dodgers do the last weekend and stay in the tie, and they actually take the division because they've got that tiebreaker. I like all the pitching matchups in this series for the Padres. Michael King today against Landon Knack. Tomorrow, they got Cease going up against Jack Flaherty, probably been the Dodgers' best pitcher, but Cease has been hot lately. And then on, Thursday, they got Joe Musgrove against Walker Buehler, who struggled. Problem is the Dodgers are going to break out at least 1 or 2 of those games and put up 6 to 8 runs because they always do. The question to me is, can the Padres outscore them in that day when the Dodgers do it? I think the Padres could win this series. Sweeping it, of course, that is a real tough ask going to Dodger Stadium.
Okay, what's the difference in them playing this in Dodger Stadium versus Petco, where Petco has been unbelievable since the last 3 years, basically. And every time they have a game, they set a new attendance record because they let 2 more people out into that awesome area out in center field. So last week was 41,237. So today we're going to do 41,389 to just barely get ahead. But they've sold out 50 something plus games. So how big of an advantage is it, I want to say, for LA that it's not in Petco, because Petco's incredible these days?
You think that makes sense. Padres do have the second best road record behind only the Yankees in baseball. So they've played really well away from Petco. I think they like coming up first and trying to set the tone offensively early, get out when they play with a lead. They're one of the best teams in baseball. So, hey, you go out and score in the top of the first or top of the second, take an early lead. The Padres have been extremely tough to beat. But, yeah, you got 50,000 people who hate you. I mean, there will be some Padres fans up there for sure, but Dodgers fans would love to, rip out the hearts of Padres fans like they do every single year at some point. Usually it's April or May. Now it's September. I will say this. every game the Padres win, if they win tonight, the Dodgers get tighter tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, I think the Dodgers get really tight on Thursday, knowing that they're about to lose that lead that they have held all season long. But obviously, you got to win the first one to start that sequence of events happening.
You're right, and ratings go through the roof, even like kind of nationally, if the Padres take this first one, because then you start to really feel and go, okay, this could happen.
Score first, though, on the road. What we talked about earlier, home field's not that big. If you score first on the road, it puts pressure on that home team, especially in a situation like this. They start puckering up a little bit.
I feel like the Padres should especially circle that Ohtani guy and be really careful with him. He's really good. He's had a really good couple weeks. So just, a note in case any of them are listening or watching right now. I know a lot of players tune in. Okay, last one for me. You had a great tweet yesterday. If you want to explain to everyone Charlie Blackmon's contributions to kicking the crap out of some teams in the NL West, including the Padres, he's retiring.
Yeah, Charlie Blackmon has more hits, RBIs, home runs against the Padres than any other team in baseball. Yeah, I said he had 226 career home runs, 250 of them, 15 of them against the Padres. I exaggerated a little bit. It's only 36. It is still more than any other team. He has been the Padre killer every time. You hear that song they play when he comes up at Coors Field in your nightmares if you're a Padres fan. Tonight! I mean, every single time you feel like something bad's about to happen. So no one's happier about Charlie Blackmon's retirement than Padres fans. Best of luck to you. And if you want to make up for it, go ahead and torment the Dodgers this last weekend at Coors Field and maybe help the Padres win that division, and all will be forgiven, Charlie. We will wish you the best in retirement.
That's so true. Yeah, he could help the Padres down the stretch here if he beats up on the Dodgers. Well, great call. Awesome having you on here, Ben. Really appreciate it. Everyone check out Ben on Twitter at Ben Higgins SD. He's on Ben and Woods. Awesome show out there, 97.3 The Fan. We get the best guests in San Diego, the whole deal. So, Ben, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it, man, and have fun with these games.
Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.